And we are live. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Beyond the 90. I've got a slightly different camera angle because my chair's broken and I've got to use somebody else's. So that's why I look like a school child at the moment. But we've got Slav at the moment to preview the Manchester United. I'm all over the place. The Tottenham game. First of all, Slav, how you doing, mate? You've already got Marlon Dolly as a fan in the comments. How are you doing, mate?
That's Marlon. Yeah, no, I'm not too bad, thank you. You know, life as a Tottenham fan. What else am I supposed to? What am I supposed to sit here and say? Like, I've been avoiding as much, social media as I can because it's just all toxic, and whatever. It's such a shame when your club is as bad as ours at the moment. It's like, what hope, what positivity can I have? So, how are you doing? You must be buzzing.
Yeah, do you know I am still buzzing off the FA Cup win, to be honest, but a lot of fans are Twitter, there's a reason why I stay off it for the most part, because people are like, we should have beaten, you're like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, I think overall it's all to play for tomorrow. But just over to Tottenham quickly, because obviously we'll touch on a little bit of it. Obviously, he plays Aston Villa, and from your perspective, I mean, it's the first time you're back at the ground. Before we touch into the match, what was that like going back? Obviously, it's not the same. It's a new ground, but it must be special to go back to atmosphere, because I'm looking at going to the Tottenham game. But whether we get tickets or not, we'll have to see. But how is it for you?
Look, obviously, when you don't go to football I'm sure you're the same as me in terms of going to football was a great escape for you. It's something that you look forward to every week and whatnot. And I love it. And I was so excited. And then I got there, sat in my seat, was still excited. Game kicked off, and I realized, shit. Because it reminded you of the frustration. I tell you what, I did miss the halftime boos and the full-time boos when the players were trudged off the pitch. I tell you what, you don't miss. Yeah, literally, or the hoof over the bar and whatnot. So yeah, that was funny, but we were terrible last night. That was arguably the worst performance of the season, and there has been some bad ones. So yeah, not ideal.
Yeah, that's too great. But obviously good for us, because obviously we're going into the last game of the season. I seem like Dele Alli's come back into the team now as well. Is that something that you've wanted for a while, or is it because Ryan Mason's kind of obviously since Jose Mourinho has got rid of him, has kind of pushed him a bit more forward? Are you a big fan of him? Do you think he's somebody to look out for the weekend as well?
He needs a coach. I'm a big fan of Dele when he's being coached. And he needs a proper coach to tell him how to get the best out of him. I mean, the reason why Dele was so good in those early years was because he had Poch coaching him. And look, Ryan Mason, I love Ryan Mason, but he's no football coach just yet. It's nice that he gets minutes, but to get the best out of Dele, you need to have a number 10 next to him, or with him. Dele was at his best when he had Eriksen around him, putting in the balls in the box and the late runs. And Dele's also at his best when he's making these late runs and playing off the last man, playing off the striker. And now all of a sudden he thinks he's some kind of Pirlo, where he drops deep to get the ball and it slows everything down. It's just so frustrating. And I'm like, that's not your game, mate. I don't care whether you think that's what you want to do. That isn't your game. You're best when you're, winding players up and playing off the last man, just being a nuisance. And that's not what he does anymore, and it's a shame. It's not the same Dele that we saw. It's Ruud Gullit nowadays with his new haircut, anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely. I didn't recognize him at first when he first came on.
He looked ridiculous.
Yeah, it's definitely a strange one. Sorry for the internet's playing up. I don't know what the issue is at the moment.
It could be me.
I can hear you. No, I think it's my internet. I think it's going up. Anyway, but just from kind of what we've got at the moment, obviously. Tottenham are just in a state. I mean, at the moment, are you on track to get Europa League football at the moment, or is it?
We'll meet on Sunday, and then we'll finish 7th or 8th.
Okay, and what do you think the ambitions are for the end of the season as well? Is it just kind of to survive what happens?
We need a manager. We have players that want to go, players that need to go. We have so much shit to sort out. We're a mess, straight up. We aren't even going to get in the Europa League, I don't think, because I don't think we'll win it. We need to win at yours on Sunday. And I don't see us scoring, let alone winning.
Really? Even with Harry Kane going to the goal?
Maybe. He's not asked. You can see he's not asked.
Because that's the only.
He played like a man last night that had given up. That was just done with it.
And what's your thoughts on Harry Kane and obviously the Soul saga? Because obviously he's the man of the moment at the moment. He said last year, and there's all sorts of stuff. We'll probably get on this because obviously Slav does a show with me on Shameless on Lewis's channel. So make sure to pay attention to carefully Lewis G on. It's not available, but we'll definitely be talking about that and what's happening. But what are your thoughts, obviously, on Harry Kane and how he's doing? Because obviously it's a strange situation to be in as a Tottenham fan.
I said for ages when we would speak about this on Shameless a lot, and I said at the time, I always said, I know he wants to leave. I'm not debating that he wants to leave. Who wouldn't want to leave the mess that we are at the moment? I'm sure they all want to leave. I want to leave, but life's not that fair. So it's about look, he's probably desperate to leave and to go and get the big trophies because he's not going to win them with us at the moment. But it's still about. I don't care what anyone says. The ball is still. It's all in Levy's hands. He's in 3 years into a 6-year contract. He's the best number 9 in the world. He's and they've come out today. Alistair Gold, who is the Tottenham representative, he's basically like David Ornstein for Tottenham, and he's basically come out and said it's 150 million to even get like any. You've got to go upwards of 150 million to get talk started. So if City come in with 100, and we're not going to sell to. We haven't sold a player to Chelsea in 42 years. So we're not going to. That's off the table. United maybe, but who's going to really? Was actually something? Do you think someone's going to come in with that kind of money? I think he's going to have to stay out of force. I really do.
Yeah, I agree with you. I watched a video today on I think it was T for Football. They're talking about that, and they're going right. Europe is off the table because I can't see him linking it with Poch. I can't see him going to Spain or going to Germany. So it's Premier. He wants to stay in the Premier League. Sorry,
Spain are broke. Barcelona, Real Madrid have no money.
He won't go there. That's part of the reason. He'll go.
Bayern Munich have Lewandowski. Juventus aren't even guaranteed Champions League, so I don't think he'd go there. And that leaves PSG, and he can go to PSG, but is that really ambitious for him? What's the point? You might as well stay at Tottenham. Exactly. You want to go win League? Congratulations, mate.
Exactly, and then so obviously you're one of them. So there's 5 clubs left. He's definitely not going Arsenal. That's for sure. Yeah. I mean, then all sorts of stuff will be kicking off. And also, why would he go to a team that's lower down in the league with less, and especially as a rival?
They're in the exact same position as we are. It's pointless.
Yeah, and at least you have that over them this season. Arsenal are just even worse than you. So at least you're finishing.
They might end up finishing above us, which is mental.
Yeah. And if they don't win, well, it depends on. I think if they win, everybody always. I was on 37 now coming into the last game.
If we lose and they win, they finish above us.
Sugar. Oh, that's tight, isn't it?
I don't think it's anything to brag about finishing 8th and 9th, personally.
Yeah. We'll have to see how that goes. But either way, I think obviously coming into this game, are you expecting any? Well, anyway, coming back to this. Man City and Man United, right? So I think for them two are the only real opportunities. We've seen before the whole Modric situation that if Levi puts his foot down, it ain't happening. So it's probably out of them 2 Manchester clubs, right, that can afford him and that have the ability to. But with COVID as well, do you think he'll just be forced to stay? Because 150, why would you buy Kane for 150 when you could buy what's it called? We could buy Haaland for half the price.
Yeah, look, I agree. Haaland and Mbappe, all these players are out there, but you're right. These 2 teams, they can afford him. There's no denying that they've got the money. But are they going to come in and say to Daniel Levy? Because Daniel Levy's not going to say, "Oh, we'll take it in £15 million installments." No, it will be to get talks. Like I said, to get talks started, 150 million. So by the time you're done, right? Let's say the deal was at 170. Plus, you've got to double his wages, the add-ons, the sign-ons, everything else. By the time you're done with that, you're looking at 220 million quid for a 27-year-old, 28-year-old with a history of injury problems and whatever. And you'll get 2-3 good years out of him. He'll score 30, 40 goals for you, and you'll win the few trophies. But why would you not just go and get Haaland and have 10 years of that? Instead of 2 or 3. And it's like, I do see him going. I do see one of these clubs coming in with that, but at the same time, I don't. So it's a weird one. And it's a weird one of whether if someone did come in, it would be good to have, to properly rebuild and have a refresh. But at the same time, when you've got someone of Harry Kane's caliber and ability, you want to build the team around him.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You want to But again, obviously that's going to play into this weekend. But you said he looked disinterested, and just you were saying earlier, you can't see them scoring against us because obviously we've got everything to play for in top four. So this is the last game of the season, and we just need to smash this because then we're just waiting on potentially a Liverpool slip up or a Chelsea slip up, so that we could literally anything's to play for. So we're going to be definitely up for this match, and Brendan Rodgers has a way that we'll get up for this match for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you've also got fans on the ground on Sunday, and I have a feeling that you're going to absolutely batter us personally. I'm not looking forward to it at all. But what could be interesting is Brendan Rodgers, whilst he's doing an unbelievable job, if you don't get in the top four for the second year in a row after being so far clear of all of us, I know you take the FA Cup aside because it's also a great achievement, but is that a failure?
No. Some people, I think half the fans will say, because we've won a trophy, and that's more important, surely. Come on, Slav. I mean, top of trophies, we've won a trophy. I'm not going to go there, but I've just won a trophy, so you can't take the FA Cup out of it because that was the reason why we didn't perform against on Tuesday. But we won an FA Cup, so that's a massive thing for us and the fan base. So it will be disappointing if we don't get it. However, because we've been in the top four all season. However, this team is still young. We're still building. We're still building towards the future. If you guys think the same, or if you think opposite, leave it in the comments below. We'll try and bring them up on stream. But I think that's the way I think Leicester fans are thinking of it as well. There are definitely people on Twitter that no, we should be we're bottling it, blah blah blah, even on our own fan base. But I just choose not to listen to them because it's like, well, yeah, but we're building year on year. We're getting decent signings in. I think we're looking at getting Ryan Bertrand. We're looking at getting Samori as well. So we're going to get this team and build it and progress. And we're not going to get it this year, but we're still in a position where we'll get European football. It's going to help towards a coalition and these kind of things. And we've got a trophy because 2 trophies in 5 years, mate. I mean, it's to be fair, it's more than you guys and Arsenal have done, I think.
Yeah, I mean, look, people take the piss out of Tottenham and trophies. People forget we're one of the most highly decorated clubs in England. We've got 8 FA Cups, 7 League Cups, 3 league titles, 2 European trophies. People forget that because it's not done in the modern era, and people disrespect that. But I can't lie, I was envious of your performance in that cup final. I wanted it to be like watching you guys celebrate that trophy. Well, look, it was great. I hate Chelsea. It was great to see you guys win it. But at the same time, it was envious because that you're in a position that we were in just a couple of years ago. We were at the top. We were at the Champions League final. We were in a position where the majority, 90% of teams in England will never ever be, and could never dream of. Look, can you see Leicester ever being in a Champions League final in your lifetime? Be honest, because I couldn't see Tottenham being in one.
What's crazy is that I would normally say no, but we've won the Premier League, so anything's on the table.
Yeah, I guess I'm asking the wrong fan.
It's a weird thing where it's like, can we do that? Jay's put in the comments, we've improved, and that's all that matters. And that's literally where we are at the moment. Where a lot of the fan, again, I'm wearing a shirt from from League One 2020. Because again, and these were honestly it's top tiles, mate. I mean, it's not fun supporting them through these times, but it makes it sweeter when you actually have these opportunities. However, I think in the long run, it will be better for us. David puts in again, I agree. Should not have the strength like the other clubs, and that's the thing. We don't have the strength on the bench, which is definitely true, and we're still competing with them, and not to bottle this year. So I think the fans are thinking the same as me in terms of, because if we bottled the Champions, if we didn't get the FA Cup and we got our top 4, I mean, we can look at this season very differently. But because we got that trophy, it does mean a lot more. And obviously, we're going to have the parades around the city if they were going to be available. So that's why obviously the finance side is good, but if we want a trophy at the end of the day, there's no point being in the Champions League, even if you get through past the group stages. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. Look, everything Leicester City are doing at the moment is everything I wish Tottenham would be like at the moment, from the owners to the players and the manager. Look, you never know. I'm still reading that should Leicester not finish in the top 4, that Brendan Rodgers would be a big possibility to come take the manager's job at Tottenham.
Maybe you're a bit delusional. I mean, why would he want to come?
That's not my opinion. That's not my opinion. I have no idea who this new manager is going to be. It's the biggest mystery ever to me. But there are a lot of people, including Tottenham journalists, that think that we are waiting for the season to be over to see if Leicester don't finish in a Champions League spot, would Brendan Rodgers be tempted with a pay rise? So,
but he's one of the most paid managers already. He's already got a contract. I think it's Angel.
Yeah.
It was Mourinho,
yeah,
Ancelotti.
we were paying Jose Mourinho £16 million a year. So
I think Brendan Rodgers is on like 12 or something.
And Brendan Rodgers is on 10.
Yeah, 10.
And
so it's not like. But the thing is,
Tottenham came in and said, here's 20 million a year. Here's Harry Kane. We'll keep him for a year. Build what you want. You think he won't come? If you don't think
we're building something that's much better at our squad at the moment, that's won trophies, that's going to compete at the top level, and that's a more exciting. Brendan Rodgers has come out and said, "If as long as Leicester are challenging, I will stay here. But unless the funds get pulled and we drop down to like a second, like 10th or a lower league table, he's going to stay." And I think the ESL thing's really pissed him off. And he came out firing on all guns about that because he's a very passionate man. He's a fan of the fans of the sports as well. So so that will put a taste in his mouth about the job he will take in the future. Personally,
he thinks he can take over from Pep in the future.
It's a good one.
That.
Potentially,
that's his comments. He thinks he can take over from Pep. Those are his comments as well.
We'll have to see, but at the end of the day, Pep's still there. He's still going to stay.
I'm not talking now. I'm talking in years to come.
Yeah, mate. Football changes in like 3 years, literally.
Yeah,
I mean,
football changes in a matter of seconds. I don't think he'll come, and I don't think he wants to come, Brendan Rodgers. But I think it shouldn't be off the table. I think if you think it's not an option at all, then I think you should.
Well, it's not it's like it's 10% potentially because it's
that. Yeah, I agree. It probably is about 5-10%, but that 5-10% that's still a percentage.
And
it doesn't make a difference. I think you'll win on Sunday, and I think you'll get top 4, and I think we won't get him. I think we'll end up with somebody like Eric Ten Hag or somebody like that. But I don't know, man. I wouldn't. Like I said at the beginning, we're just a mess. We're in an absolute mess. So much. And looking ahead to Sunday, it's so hard to even want to watch the game. I can just imagine. I'm sure you'll be going down if you get a ticket Sunday. The atmosphere will be great. Everyone will be positive around your stadium, and even if you do somehow go 1-0 down, you'll still beat us. We're terrible. We're mentally weak. We can't defend. The wrong players get picked every week.
Really, even now.
I just can't wait for this season to be over. This season needs to end. We need to get rid of the shit. Get rid of all this deadwood. Get rid of all this rubbish. Get rid of all of these negative players in the squad. Bring in some proper players. Get the loan players back. Get the Ollie Skip, who won Championship Player of the Year. Get him in. Get Ryan Sessegnon back in from Germany. Get a proper manager, a proper coach, and build. And just try, and I'm not expecting us to finish 3rd next year or 2nd or whatever. I just want us to be back. The thing about Tottenham is, because people will banter when we speak on Shameless, right? It's a bit difficult to have this conversation, but people will banter me and whatever. Tottenham fans don't expect that much. We just want to be entered. Like when we had Poch, I didn't care that we weren't winning. People will banter me all day that we didn't win. I don't care. I saw us finish 2nd, get to a Champions League final, finish 3rd, to participate in. Okay, we didn't win it. Participate in 2 title races, which I'd never seen in my life, right? And I loved it. I loved every minute of being proud of my football team, and I think that goes for a lot of fans of other than maybe your Chelsea, City, United. Other than those teams, I think a lot. I think a lot of us just want to be proud of our football team, and that's a big thing at Tottenham. We don't expect to be the 3-time cup winners every year, to win the double, to win everything every year. We would like to win things, of course, everyone does, but at the same time, we just want to be proud. We have an ethos of entertaining football. Like no matter how bad we've been over the years or unsuccessful, we've always played entertaining football. Whether that be AVB with the Bale era, whether that be the Poch era or the Harry Redknapp era, where he had Van der Vaart, Modric, Defoe in his prime, Crouchy. It was entertaining, and we loved it. Whereas now, it's honestly a chore to watch Tottenham.
Mhm.
like a
Yeah.
full-on draw.
Yeah, I mean that's. Do you know what? I've been there with Leicester. I mean, around this era, this shirt era, like just watching some terrible football, just going, why am I even watching this for a second? So no, I definitely get what you mean. I mean, Slav's nursing a little bit of a cold, and it's not Corona if anybody's wondering.
Yeah,
So
sorry about that.
it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens going into this match. But obviously, we've talked kind of about the match because I don't think you want to talk too much about it. But in terms of your top four thoughts, obviously Liverpool have come back into the fray. We've just dropped out of the top four on goal difference. So unless you smash you like 7-0, that's not going to make a difference that much. What do you think? What do you think of the title race, the top four? Because obviously the title race is done. Manchester United are second, cool, and the next three. What do you think about that?
Oh, it's tough because I tell you what, Chelsea going to Villa is not going to be easy for them. And I think I do think Liverpool will be
Villa as well.
Pardon?
You just played Villa as well, so you know firsthand.
I mean, they weren't. You know, I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't use us as a line of where to judge things, but I do think they'll give them a game. The thing is, what's in your favour and is that Chelsea go to Villa and Villa have fans, and you're at home to us and you've got fans. And I think that whilst it didn't really work out for us yesterday, I think the fans will make a big difference. Jack Grealish will play for Villa and he'll be Jack Grealish, and he'll cause problems. And I think Chelsea might struggle, but obviously I think that could end up being a draw there. And I do think you'll beat us, and I think you'll end up getting in the top four because I think Liverpool will beat Palace at home. A Palace side without a Berriese and nothing to play for.
Imagine this season, no London club will get Champions League. That's mad.
I don't think has that ever happened? Possibly.
No, maybe it might have done. No, because then before when Chelsea weren't dominant, then Arsenal were dominant and still under Wenger. They were guaranteed top four every year. I think if that's the case, I think it's the first year ever that London hasn't got top four in a while since Premier League, maybe. Because Arsenal have been up there in the Premier League, winning Premier League since it started.
No, I think it's mad, but I do think because I just can't see us getting a result on Sunday, and that's the main thing. That's what I think will put you in the top four. Because hang on, what if all three of you win? Is it you finish fifth? So
it depends on if we beat you 1-0. Because let me get up the table at the moment, and it'll be easier to show you with the table. Because it's to talk about these things, I think you just need to let's share a screen. Hold on 1 second. Okay. So, the current position, Chelsea are on 67, Liverpool on 66, and then Leicester City are on 66 as well. But the goal difference is 4. So which means we have to, if Liverpool win, we have to get 5 goals more than them to qualify. Okay. So if everybody wins, we aren't going through. So it is tight down there, but unless we smash you like 7-0 or something, everybody. That's the thing at the moment. So it is tough, and I don't think that we've got the squad to quite manage that. But again, we're trying to build up there with the likes of some of the best managers. Well, obviously, Ollie's not the best manager, but some of the best managers, so best teams and best squads in the whole league, and we're still pushing way above where we're supposed to be. And to a certain extent, we are overachieving, but we kind of deserve it at the same time. I'm not saying top 4, just where we are, where we're competing.
Yeah, look, like I said, what everything you're about to sign this Samari geezer for 20 million. What a great signing that will be.
Yeah, people keep saying I've looked into it and he looks decent, but I'm not going to lie. With Leicester of recent, you know they're going to be a good signing, but at the same time, other fans are telling you this guy's going to be a baller, and across the board, from Manchester United, yourself, Chelsea fans are telling us the same thing. So it must be a good sign.
Yeah, he's a good player. I can tell you. I would love for us to sign him. You just keep signing these good players, like Yuri Tielemans. No offense, why he's playing? How you've managed to snap him up, and he loves playing for you. I'm sure.
He was offered to you. He was offered to you and Man United.
He was offered to us on loan. He was offered to Poch on loan. Poch said no. Following summer, he was offered. This is when Poch was just after the Champions League final. Following summer, he was offered to Poch on a permanent, and Poch said, no, I want to wait for Ndombele.
Really?
So, mate, do you know how many players Tottenham have missed out on because of stupid things?
Was it 20? Because I think that summer, so when Poch was he was approached him, he'd already been in the Premier League since January because he was on loan to us from January to May. So he had experience, and I think he was one of the top scorers during that time, with assisting or scoring pretty much every game as well.
Yeah, we have some bad. I could give you a squad of players that Tottenham could have signed. Sadio Mane had a look around the training ground. Daniel Levy decided not to pay the money, didn't want to pay his wages in the £40 million transfer fee. Went to Liverpool. Jean Moutinho in his prime, didn't sign him. The list goes on and on. Aubameyang, when he was at St Etienne, came to the training ground. We said no. I could give you a whole list of players that we could have got and should have got. Tielemans. It just goes on and on and on. And it's just a massive cock up every year. And that's why the thing is with Kane, if we do sell him and have all this 200 million to spend, I don't trust my board to spend it, right? Not at all.
That's the difference. When we sold I think we brought up, let me see if I can bring up another, I think I showed this on him.
If Harry Maguire is worth 80 million quid, right? How much is Harry Kane worth?
Yeah, well, first of all, Harry Maguire isn't worth £80 million, to be perfectly honest with you. But we were like a lot of players, in the same way that Danny Drinkwater's not worth 35 million, but we managed to get that from Chelsea.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. Let me see if I can get this up at the moment because I've got a transfer sheet I used on another podcast that I was on regarding the transfers that we have in and out. Because I didn't realise because we are quite proud of this. I got this from Sky Sports. So these are the signings of the recent signings that we've got out. So Colo, Drinkwater, Riyad Mahrez, Ben Chilwell, 50 mil, and then we bought in Wilfred Ndidi. Adrian Silva didn't work, but that's the risk you take, and then pretty much everyone else has worked. And there are a couple missing from here, but it's just our philosophy. And trust me, the Leicester board did try and splash players at first. They thought they could buy their way out, and they nearly got in FFP trouble when we came into the Premier League. If we didn't get into the Premier League, we would have got in loads of FFP trouble. And we had like Sven-Göran Eriksson, and we didn't work out. So we finally managed to do it. So there's hope, but you've got to have a massive switch up. And the mentality that we have is working. So people are like, for example, we had a look, James Justin was £8 million. Is he would he be the kind of player that would want to, with Tottenham an interesting prospect for him? Because Leicester, I know that like we get young players, we train them up, and we bring them into the Premier League. Surely that's better.
Well, yeah, I mean, we did that with Dele Alli. He cost $5 million from Milton Keynes.
Maybe
he was brought. He actually had about 30 goals and assists the year we bought him for 20 million quid, and he's been terrible.
We were looking at him, to be honest.
He's been rubbish, to be honest. And the thing is with these players, I want to see them under a proper coach. I don't classify Mourinho as a proper coach. He's a successful manager. I want a coach like a Rodgers-esque coach to get the best thing out of his players, to come up with systems and sessions to improve the players. And that's why there's like, look, Reguilon had a mare last night. He was dreadful. He booted one in his own net, but it happens. But I want to see him. I'm not going to sit here and call him shit, because I want to see him under a proper coach and let him be coached and see how good this kid can be. And that's the major problem. That's why I can't really sit and say much until we get a manager at the moment, because we haven't got one.
Fair enough. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. I really, really appreciate you joining. I've left your Twitter down below, but where can the people find you? Oh,
you can find me just where Neil has put my Twitter, SamLove20. Find me on We Are Tottenham TV. We're building up to that. We're building up to that 100k very shortly. Go help the boys out. Everyone who is watching this, definitely subscribe to be on the 90 LCFC. Neil works really hard with the rest of the team. Also, check us out on Shameless FC. I feel like whilst I have a spat with Bavs every week, I tell you what, it can be enjoyable to watch Bavs go at it with other people,
especially when they do.
Come over, check us out. Even if I'm not there, Neil will be there, Lewis will be there, Flawless will be there. But yeah, thank you very much for having me on.
Anytime, mate. No, I really appreciate it. And hopefully,
it's so easy on us on Sunday, honestly, mate.
You think it's going to be that easy?
Honestly, if there were no fans, I'd be thinking, you know what, maybe we can just nick a result. But whatever happens, because how it will work, even if we do go 1-0 up or whatever, we'll cave in under the pressure of your fans. I'm sure you'll have fans behind the goal, and we'll cave in. Mate, we got such a weak mentality. It's actually so weird. So worrying. I've never seen a weaker mentality than some of the players we've got. Like, I don't know, mate. We're a mess. Look, I texted Lewis the other day. Look, we're a mess at the moment. Losing games, players want to leave. Best player wants out. No manager. Everyone hates the chairman. Everyone hates the owners. Everyone hates the tickets. The season. Mate, the Spurs are asking for season ticket renewals next week. The deadline's next week.
And I've got fans are going to go, no, I'm not, especially for 60 quid, mate. That's a lot of money.
The thing is, if I don't know what it is at Leicester, right? But at Tottenham, it's about 100,000 people the waiting list for a season ticket, right?
Yes, a lot as well.
So if I don't renew, I'll never get my season ticket back ever in my lifetime, ever. So I've got to renew. And there'll be people that think differently to me in terms of I'm not going to. Why should I renew if we're in this situation where all the players are shit? Harry Kane wants to leave. We don't have a manager. Let's say we bring in Graham Potter, for example, who I actually rate. And I don't know about you, but I think he's a good manager. But there'll be Tottenham fans that'll be underwhelmed by that. And we'll go, why would I want to go and spend £2,000 on my season ticket, whatever it is, to go and watch Graham Potter try and get the best out of Moussa Sissoko and all these utter crap players? And yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like,
no, I definitely agree.
Who's going to want to renew that season? It's just, it's heart wrenching. It's gut wrenching to see my club like this. We're in a mess, and it's going to take a while till we get out of it. We need to rebuild really badly. I do think we'll be back. I really, really do, because I think we've got decent young players coming through. I think we've got some players that we can build around. Should Kane stay, I think we've got decent players in obviously Son and Ndombele, Lo Celso, Højbjerg, Skip, Reguilon and whatever, Lloris. We've got some good players to build around, but we need a bad rebuild. And I do think soon we've got this lovely stadium. We've got an awesome training ground. I do think eventually we will come back and be competitive, but not for a while, unfortunately. And it's just really hard because we were where you were. We were even in a better position than you guys. We were at the top, Champions League final. All we had to do was stick it, was build around the team, was improve, and not sack Pochettino. And we would have been still up there. We'd have been challenging with you guys this season, and we're where we are because of Daniel Levy, unfortunately.
Well, obviously, it's good news for Leicester fans that just coming back to all that Sunday might be an easier game. But with Leicester, anything is possible in terms of we could win, we could lose. We've been battered by Newcastle, which was disturbing, to be honest. So it is what it is. Yeah, I gave Slav a little. So
I just want to address. Well, someone in the comments has put Kane is out of contract. Kane's got 3 years left.
He is. Yeah.
I think he has 3 years left on a contract worth £230,000 a week. So, he's contracted till 2024 or 25. So, like I said, anyone wants him, you can get him. You just got to pay the money.
Yeah,
big money. World record.
Two Harry Maguires, which I don't think.
Yeah, it is. It's 2 Harry Maguires for Harry Kane, basically.
Yeah, and I don't.
It's right. If we do sell Harry Kane, we'll come and buy Jamie Vardy.
Yeah, you can have him, my mate. But if you want, you can buy him, and then you can get Defoe back from Rangers, and you have to go double duo of like tall men that can run really fast, small men that can run really fast. But yeah, thanks again for coming on. Everybody, make sure you like, subscribe.
Thank you very much for having me on.
Mate. Appreciate that, and hopefully we'll best of luck for the season and see what happens. But
I'm feeling all right in the next few days, and maybe we'll come on and do a post-match thoughts on Monday or Sunday evening, one of the two.
Sounds good. Yeah, that was good, mate. All right, I'll see everybody in a bit, and thanks for coming on. Goodbye.
No worries.